Okay, recording this video on Sunday, the 1st of June 2025, just gone 2:51 a.m. Chicago time. Do hope you are doing well. So it's the weekend and time for another weekend futures market recap, where I go through 15 of the largest futures markets and I show you what I'm seeing on my charts. Do hope you had a good week's trading. Can you believe it's the 1st of June? This year is just flying by. Anyway, we had some important activity Thursday and Friday on the E-mini, so I'll show you that first, and then we'll get to the tick bar charts and see what's going on there. But the E-mini, and this chart, normally the first one of the video I show you, is at es.d, which is the day session only data of the E-mini, but this time around I'm showing you at ES, which shows you the day and night data, and that is because we had an important spike in the after hours, and that was the Nvidia news, and I think there was some Trump tariff news that came in, and that spiked us above 6,000, and that's super important. So we go, the high on that bar was 6,008. So if we get back above 6,008, there's going to be a bunch of stops that are sitting there. And as yet, on these higher time frame charts, we've not seen our blue professional bars. We've got our trailing stop on the daily chart, still miles away. We're still in an uptrend. The background's in red. At some point, we will find, eventually, this resistance on the intermediate time frame here on the daily chart. That's what I've been going on about for the last several weeks, looking for that. But we need everything to come together. The cyclical point needs to line up with blue professional bars, the trailing stop, and then we break that. And we've not got that condition yet on the daily chart. 135-minute chart, same thing. Yep, we've got that cyclical cross in due, but the trailing stop's miles away. We're in an uptrend, and we've got no blue professional bars yet. We've weakened from the Rambo pattern here, but as yet no blue professional up bars to trail this stop. So look for that this week, 6,000. If we break it, we're a ways away at the moment, 85 points or so, but if we come back up to 6,000, it's going to be some fireworks up there, so that'll be interesting to see what happens. And then heading down, 45-minute chart, this is a little bit more constructive. We've got our resistance come in here, pull back to end of trends. We've got signs of weakness. The 45-minute chart has trailed the stop up and we've briefly broken it, but yes, exhaustion buy, bearish divergence, amateur bars at the highs, but not blue professional bars at the highs. The blue professional bars came in after that, and we broke them and then broke back up above them. And then with the last bar on Friday's activity, we got a blue professional bar. So this is going to trail the stop down on Monday, but look for that. If that gets broken to the upside and we get the cyclical strength coming in with a cross on the highest time frame here on the 45-minute chart, this is going to form a pullback to end of trend, and then we'll push above 6,000 there. Trying to be open-minded about the possibility that we just don't roll over from this point. We actually go and find a little bit of fireworks above 6,000 and then come back down. 15-minute chart. Here we've got our yellow vertical solid lines, which shows us the beginning and the ends of the week. And so with last week's activity, we sold off, we caught at that point, and we came back up. And the blue professional bar that we had this week's activity, there was only one on the very last bar on Friday, which is interesting. Up here we've had weakness from amateur bars at those highs, and we bounced off this. I'm going to show you that in the 1500 tip bar chart. Super important. We came down here, we were failing, and the professionals stepped in. This is going to trail the stop up on the 15-minute chart here, and again we're playing around resistances at this point here and looking for that 6,000 number. So just wait and see. If we bust above that and head towards 6,000, be interesting. And lastly, the 13,500 tip bar chart. And here we go. This is the Nvidia activity that we had here. So last week we had a nice little signal. We had profit taking, blue professional bars at the highs, which is what we want to see. Then we weakened. We came back up. Blue professional bars came in. Seemingly we were weakening from there. Then we had the Nvidia news, which is stronger than expected. And then we got that spike, and then we've weakened from there. But the blue professional bars have come in at the lows here on Friday, and we bounced back up. Backgrounds in red. We're technically in an uptrend on this time frame. A lot of selling going on there. The momentum line is really weak, and we're actually going to form an exhaustion pattern when that turns. There'll be an exhaustion pattern in a new uptrend here, which is interesting. That's possible as an area that will get a bounce. Cyclically, what's going on here? Yeah, we overshot, pull back to end of trend, pull back to end of trend on the intermediate time frame, and resistance on the highest time frame here. Was that Yeah, it's actually an end of trend on that highest time frame because this is a pullback level here and weakened from there, but we've caught at this point on this highest time frame sign of strength come in, so above 59.33 would get this move continuing to the upside before rolling over. And then just quickly on the 1500 tip bar chart, because this is Friday's activity here. This is the overnight activity, Thursday night into Friday morning here, and we had weakness, blue professional bars at the highs, and we had a nice swan dive move down to 58.60. So what is that? A 60-point drop there, which is very nice. And then the blue professional bars came in. Background's in blue, the bars are blue, we've got blue squares on the chart. That shows big pro bars, meaning super high average trade size come in here. V reversal, we test briefly, bang, we take off to the upside. That was important. We need to see the flip side of that. We need to see a similar pattern on the way up in order to reverse the market and go the other way. So there we go, E-mini charts covered off. Let us go through the tip bar charts starting with the Forex markets here. So this was the Euro activity this week. We reached a little bit of a local high here, but no blue professional bars at the absolute high, and we fell off down to 1240 down here at the lows, and similar pattern to this V reversal. We had nice exhaustion patterns down here, big pro bars come in there, and we spike up. They didn't take profits at this point here. They've come in at the end of the week. I'd be looking for a break back above 114 here on the euro to see a continuation of that uptrend until we get proper blue professional bars at highs like this or highs above this local point. British pound, here we go, again the activity this week, taking profits into those highs. We weakened from there, but no exhaustion buy patterns happening there. And here we've had exhaustion sell, bullish divergence flush. We've got blue professional bars, backgrounds in black at the moment, so we're trying to figure out which way to go. Let's see if that holds, because on this time frame with the cyclical patterns here, we've broken into an uptrend on the highest time frame, and we're coming down to make pullback to end of trend. So I'd suggest this is an area we might hold and then go back up to test 35, 36s up here. So let's see if that happens on the British pound. Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar, similar thing, little breakaway Sunday night, Monday morning, but no blue professional bars at the highs taking profits, and we've sold off since there. So technically that's not a change in trend, and if it's a bit junky, but at the lows down here we do see blue professional bars come in holding this area at 64.20. So let's see, the background's in red, so we're broken technically into a little bit of an uptrend there. So let's see if we'll get a continuation of the Aussie dollar. So all of those euro, British pound, Aussie dollar potentially going back up to test those highs that we maxed out at the beginning of the week. Japanese yen though, different story. Yeah, we maxed out and weakened, but we've come back up, and a whole bunch of blue professional bars come in at the end of this week, and they weren't buying the low, they're selling the retrace. So let's see if we get a break through that trailing support on better pro-am. We break into a continuation of the downtrend on Japanese yen. 10 years, yeah, we're on an uptrend here, but we didn't have blue professional bars catching the lows down here. Exhaustion sell, bullish divergence. We've had more blue professional bars buying here. So just be wary of that. Let's see if we get a break of that trailing support on the 10 years to see if bonds continue to sell off. The background's in red, technically in an uptrend at the moment, but if that breaks, we've got a reversal signal going the other way. Gold. Now gold has been weakening quite a bit. 3400 up here we topped out with exhaustion buy, bearish divergence, blue professional bars, backgrounds in blue, big pro bars up here, and then on the retrace here, same thing, big pro bars step in, they sell it down. We test into that area and we bounce off that and we come down, and the background's in grey, so we're in a downtrend on gold. Silver, been warning about this with all of this junk going on. I mean, this looks like Joseph's Technicolor Dreamcoat, and it can't decide which way it's going. Were they taking profits? Were they catching it at this point? Let's wait and see. That level at 3280. Background's in grey. We're technically in a downtrend at the moment. If we break through 3280, that'll bring us some more selling at that point. And Bitcoin's also weakened. So coming into those highs at 110, 112, we had blue professional bars taking profits. We rolled from there. They sold it down at this point here, and we've had signals short. We've just been bouncing off Rambo patterns over the weekend. So we could come back up a little bit and then come back down to make a proper bottom on Bitcoin. So that's weak at the moment too. And crude, that was last week's activity where we had that spike in the overnight session. We came up to test back into that area. We had blue professional bars and a rainbow pattern. We weakened. We're in a downtrend on crude. And natural gas, so we come back again down to 345, and blue professional bars came in here and caught it, and then they sold it at the highs. When we tested back up to exhaustion buy, bearish divergence, we rolled, bang, and they've started to come back in, blue professional bars on the way down here. So let's see if this 355 level gets broken on natural gas this week. And copper last week we raced away, hit highs at 490, and blue professional bars step in, sell it down, and we're in a downtrend on copper, just bouncing off rainbow patterns there. And then finally the ags. So we got corn this week in a downtrend, took profits the end of last week. We got signals short and little tests, little pushes up, bang, and then we come back down. Exhaustion, sell, bullish divergence, and amateur down bars, but no blue professional bars to end that move yet. Same thing, soybeans up here last week, blue professional bars, we roll finally into a downtrend. Same thing, exhaustion, sell, bullish divergence, but no blue professional bars at the lows yet. And wheat, same thing again, last week maxed out, blue professional bars into a downtrend, and we've got a bullish divergence signal here, but no blue professional bars this last week. So all of the ags are weak at the moment until we see those blue professional bars coming at the lows. They're going to keep on pushing down, I'd suggest. Anyway, so there we go, a rip around the charts. Yeah, E-mini, that 6,000 level I think is just waiting to be hit. There's going to be a bunch of stops sitting above that. And maybe that's the pattern that we need in order to roll this over, where we get blue professional bars coming in on these higher time frame charts like the 135-minute chart. Anyway, so there we go. Hope your trading is going well, and looking forward to next week's trade.